that this next part is going to be difficult for me to win. In fact, this is like me trying to bring somebody back from the dead. It's impossible. I can't do it. But we have to have the conversation. It's written here in the notes. You put this note in there. So now is my time to try and debate with you why Hulk Hogan is better in the category of in-ring ability. And I've got a reason, and I'll tell you why.
Should be good.
Hulk Hogan, as a technical wrestler, garbage, right? Absolute garbage. However, as a worker in the ring, second to none. He could get a crowd like nobody else could. So I know you're about to throw him under the bus.
Maybe I won't.
And he probably will not recover from it. But I think him being a great worker is valid in the conversation of in-ring ability. Any thoughts on Steve Austin compared to Hulk Hogan in the ring?
Look, I mean, realistically, we both know Austin is a better wrestler. He had better matches throughout his career, at his peak and prior, and even at the very end. And Hogan by the very end was a disaster. And even at his best, Hogan was very, very, very good at doing the Hulk Hogan routine. And to be honest, pre-87, he didn't really do that. You know, he mixed it up a little bit. And in Japan, which I know you're going to bring up, so I'm going to beat you the punch there, he was better. He was different. But I will defend your point first before trashing it. Because, don't choke on your beverage there. Hogan did what he needed to do, and his routine worked. And if you look at other guys from that era like Warrior, people criticize Warrior as well because he was very one-dimensional, but for what he was, that was exactly what he should have been, and Hogan was the same. Mm-hmm. Austin couldn't have got away with that in 1997, 98, of doing this, one match. And the opponents he was working with were very different as well. And probably better, in truth. Austin's working with The Rock and Triple H and Kurt Angle, and, you've got Hogan working with Bundy. So it's not a fair comparison. But at the same time, that doesn't matter. We can only base it on what's the evidence that's in front of us. And Austin had better matches. His match with The Rock at WrestleMania 17 still holds up as one of the all-time great matches. Some of Hogan's matches stand up as well. Like I won't be someone who sits and say Hogan was terrible in the ring. I don't think he was at all. And I think that's a very easy and lazy argument as well. Because he wasn't bad. Like what should he have been? If Hogan was Bret Hart and doing Bret Hart's routine, it wouldn't have worked for Hogan. He wouldn't have been the star that he was. But ultimately, Austin had better matches. From start to finish, from the start of his career to the end of his career, he had better matches. So I guess the question is, and I know what your counter is going to be here, how much does that matter?
I mean, look, you obviously win the in-ring ability discussion if we're looking at it as a wrestler.
Yeah.
If we're looking at it as a worker, I mean, our very own Finlay Martin, he says he's never seen a better worker than Hulk Hogan.
The big guns and bring in Finn Martin into this. Just because we've got power slams on the table, put him over at every opportunity. Look... No, you're right though. And he is right. If you look at WrestleMania 18, going on from the 17, the match with Rock. Now you can argue, and we're going to get in. I can't argue.
Now we're going to get in. You could argue about was what Hulk Hogan did at WrestleMania 18 in terms of just going out and being the babyface. Was that the best thing for the wrestling business at the time, or his opponent? Probably not.
Maybe not.
But I remember watching that match, and it's one of only 2 matches in my life where I've been sitting down watching a match at home and I've stood up when he was going to hit that leg. And, Jim Ross and commentary, he beat Andre the Giant with that move and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's the best match to kind of illustrate how he works and how he has the crowd by the palm of his hand.
But on the same token, the execution in that match is the drizzles. It's terrible.
But then it's like, if you look at movies, like name a movie that you love that's maybe not critically acclaimed.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one off the top of my head.
Weekend
at Bernie's.
Yes, so you love Weekend at Bernie's, right? Very, very funny movie. But if you were to send that to a critic, he would probably find a lot of socially or a lot of stuff you probably shouldn't say or do now, or there'd be a lot of kind of PC stuff that wasn't there. It's lowbrow,
Sure,
but that doesn't matter. It's what's entertaining, and I think that Hogan did have that